Hello and welcome to Phoenix Point. My name is Commander Tyrael, and we're going to be playing this turn-based tactics game. It's a bit of a grand strategy in the vein of the XCOM series. Now, it takes a little bit of work. We'll be playing the Terror from the Void, a full overhaul mod, which balances the game, paces the story a little bit better. I haven't played it, and they recommend that we start one difficulty lower than we would play vanilla, but we're going in at hero level, and we're going to be starting in what I probably assume to be the hardest start location, Down Under. We'll be fighting crabs down under. It's not something you want to hear every day. It's not something you want a doctor to tell you. But these will be our settings for the campaign. Largely just stock hero, but I do want to change the amount of scavenging missions because I find them to be really fun. In fact, they are exceedingly fun because I'm a loot hound, and looting is great. And in a game where you have to build everything yourself, looting is a great part to prop up your dwindling equipment stores. Anyway, that is the settings for the campaign. We're starting Down Under. Let's get into Terror from the Void. My name's Commander Tyrael. Hit the like button, hit subscribe, and let's jump in.
The Phoenix Project was founded on October 24th, 1945. The Second War to end all wars was over. But there were those who understood that we could no longer afford to think in terms of nations and empires. For a time, the Phoenix Project successfully navigated the political conflicts of its era. That was our golden age. Phoenix Project operatives scoured the world for clues. We had bases in 24 countries. Even the heavens were not off limits. But out there, on the far side of the moon, began our downfall. The failure of the Phoenix 2 mission exposed us to our enemies in the UN. Stripped of resources and scattered to the winds, we were reduced to a secret, a memory. When the Pandora virus woke up, we should have been the first line of defense. When huge clouds of mist appeared over the sea, when people started vanishing, we should have figured out what was going on. And when those people started coming back, changed, hostile, alien, we should have been ready to fight, but we failed. The ecosystem started to change, imperceptibly at first, then faster and faster. 3 factions arose. New Jericho, trying to restore order and purity. Cmdr, hoping to build a world without hierarchies. And the Disciples of Anu, a new syncretic religion dedicated to adaptation and biological change. At war with the world and at odds with each other, these factions cannot find a way forward. Now the mist is returning and armies are rising from the sea. Without the Phoenix Project, humanity will fall. It's time to rise from the ashes.
It is time to assume our mantle as director of the Phoenix Project. After all these years, you finally got the call. It meant that Symes and his deputies were dead and unreachable. Phoenix Project had gone dark. The trek to Phoenix Point was long and dangerous, and when you finally reached it, someone was already home. I am Alistair Ashby. Yes, the Mist Expert. Thanks for watching my content back in the day, I guess. A few of us managed to get this bunker and activate the emergency beacon before we were overrun by the creatures that followed us here. We've got this place mostly up and running, thanks to Elena. She is quite the wunderkind. Opa, Alistair, is good with people. I'm good with machines. This facility runs on a limited AI called Bennu. Once Bennu verifies your credentials as the duly appointed director, all functionality will be resumed. This is the Geoscape. We have 1 aircraft and 5 troops. We skipped the tutorial. If you want to see the prologue and the tutorial, check out the video I released today, which shows you those story bites. Now, we started our exploration and we found the first haven, Cmdr Haven. Geoscape, or something like that. It's an unusual name for an Australian haven, that's for sure. Now, our biggest problem here, Down Under, is that we are isolated from the rest of the world. We've reprogrammed the satellites to now reveal the extent of the mist outbreak, and the origin sites are in coastal sea regions, as in the previous 2 incursions, but the activity level is higher. So let's have a look where the mist is coming from in the initial stages of the, I guess, invasion. And it looks like Australia is it, as well as the eastern coast of India. Well, we're fighting crabs down under, that is for sure. We're going to research all of these technologies. We need to know about Cmdr and what they stand for. We will get some tech when we do that. And this is the manufacturing section where we can create all of our weapons. The Terror from the Deep mod, it's made it much easier to navigate with the ammunition attached to the weapon. In vanilla, it's all over the place, and it was a pain in the butt to try and find the correct ammunition for your weapons to build. Now, the base. We have a few new buildings here that aren't in vanilla. The security station gives us 3 personnel during attacks. We've got food production straight off the bat. That's very useful. We will build one of those so that we don't starve to death down here, isolated down under. Phoenix Point has everything you need to start a war effort. We've got a research lab, satellite uplink, medical bay, living space. All of those things are required. We're putting in a training bay so that we can give experience to the troops that aren't currently deployed. And basically, you want to be running a full military academy from your home base. That's just my humble opinion. I will build probably 4 of those training facilities, and we will just train for war like there's never been training before. Once your troops reach max level, they aren't limited in their growth. When they then go on missions, they earn personal experience, and Phoenix Point also earns operational experience, which can be poured into their skills. The Manticore has detected an abandoned structure. It's a giant pillar, metal spire in the outback of Australia. Very wasteland, so we decided to dismantle it and take its materials. It was a lot of work. We've lost some stamina there. And we only have contact with the one faction, Cmdr, so let's check out the other points of interest around this great southern land. Heading over to Western Australia, the Third Mist. We are ready to share our preliminary findings regarding the new Pandora virus outbreak. The viral mist is an extremely unusual phenomenon. It is in fact a highly complex aerosol capable of moving with deliberation and transporting viral DNA and other microbes. We've received reports of a variety of afflictions suffered by individuals who have travelled or reside in areas covered by mist: tiredness, lack of energy, brain fog, anguish, and sometimes hallucinations. So far we can conclude the following. Symptoms never fully disappear, but are negligible when fully rested. Symptoms get worse if the subject stays or returns to locations where mist is present. We have termed this condition the oniric delirium, on account of subjects complaining of nightmares or crazy dreams with similar themes of monstrous degeneration and smothering. Like Lovecraftian stories.
Research complete.
Cmdr is an amalgamation of several political movements with roots in social ecology.
Cmdr was built on a dream. A world without hierarchies, without leaders, where human beings could embrace the potential of technology without its destructive side effects. The radicals of the old world had been proven right. The status quo could not sustain itself. But what now? What was the next step? Some argued for coexistence with the Pandoran ecosystem, hoping for a peaceful solution. Others advocated putting humanity before nature and claiming the planet for themselves. Trusting in the safety of their havens, the people of Cmdr argued about the best way forward. But the Pandora virus had little interest in their arguments, and its power was still growing.
I guess it really depends on your real-life political ideologies, but Cmdr are a funny bunch. They don't believe in hierarchies, and all they do is argue. Sounds pretty much like standard bureaucracy to me. I did choose these guys to support in my vanilla campaign, and I was happy with the ending. It was not a bad ending as such, but I wonder if there are better endings. Anyway, without spoiling at the story, we have found another Cmdr haven named Murray. Much more Australian name for a haven.
Research complete.
Alright, we've now researched the Haven Recruitment Protocol, so as long as we are at good standing with people, then they will let us hire their people. We found some stuff out in the outback. Yeah, the Haven Recruitment Protocols, they will give us their worst people for an exorbitant fee, but we get their equipment as well, and sometimes that's the best thing about buying another troop, is getting his heavy armor and big machine gun. But I digress. On the upside, we can expect recruits to be completely loyal to our cause because they were castaways from their own faction. However, if necessary, we will institute a reliable indoctrination process. In my vanilla campaign, Australia was the last place that I got to. Because of its isolation, it requires points of interest to be situated in Southeast Asia. Otherwise, your aircraft range simply can't reach Australia. And so, I have a feeling we're going to be stuck here unless we take some drastic steps to accelerate our war effort. Because we don't want the world to be conquered while we're stranded here in the outback. We're at the marketplace, and the marketplace has also been changed in the mod. And it seems to be much better. Like, the weapons were a little bit funny in that you use them a few times and then they explode, but they had unlimited ammo. It seems that they've flipped that, and now you can buy the ammunition. Okay, we've got mercenaries here too. I didn't know about this. We've got an old hound, a heavy, an old soldier, a surviving member of a loose collection of powerful military outfits who fought aside New Jericho in the years before the collapse. Their gear is ancient and in bad need of repair, and their outdated, poorly maintained military implants cause them constant pain, which often makes them aggressive and confused. Or we've got a berserker. Berserkers are cool. They're like all about the melee and the hammers and the big swords. They're the bravest of the bunch, fighting the Pandorans face to face, but I don't know if I want a berserker just yet. I do prefer to play it safe and stay at range until we're ready to deliver that coup de grace in combat. So I think I might take an old heavy, an old hound. Their jetpack will be useful. They've got heavy armor. It does say it's obsolete, so I'm not sure how that will translate. And we can buy vehicles and upgrades for them. The upgrades look like they've changed since vanilla. This one makes it explode when it dies. And then, yeah. But we don't really have the funds to do anything but one purchase. So we're going to take a mercenary to fill out our ranks. That'll fill the aircraft to max capacity. 6 troopers. So we've got 2 assaults, 2 heavies. And this is Boel Rasmussen. Got a Grom autocannon. That's a new weapon. 90 damage and shock damage, but it fires twice, which is cool. Standard heavy cannon only fires once. Okay, they've got armor on par with a normal assault trooper, so it's nowhere near as good as a heavy armor. It's about 10 armor points less than the standard heavy trooper. But they have a jump jet, which is invaluable. I just did some quick comparisons, and I've noticed that Terror from the Void also adds another line of skills to the bottom here. In vanilla, there were only 3, and they were like personality traits. This looks like it's class specific. So they get takedown, which looks like a very powerful move. Lots of shock damage, and they have a shorter jump jet that uses differing amounts of willpower to the standard jump jet. This guy's got stealth and speed. And it's not a guy, sorry, it's a gal, believe it or not. And we've got return fire now, instead of war cry. And war cry was a silly skill. It's like you shout at the Pandorans and they just can't act. I'm like, yeah, sure, mate. These guys are literal cosmic horrors and you're shouting at them. I mean, it would be good for your own morale, but I don't see them being paralyzed with fear. So apart from the mist spreading, there's not a lot going on down in this continent. And I don't think we're going to be able to get off. We can now trade if we research that, so we will be able to prop up our food. Our food, we do have like almost a year's worth of supplies, but if we were to spend any food, that time would rapidly dwindle. Let's try and get across to the mainland China and that area. Exploration site, an abandoned military outpost, but it's unclear which nation's military it belonged to. Lots of materials, lots of tech, and some food. Let's go to Cmdr. I'm going to have to do something bad. In my original campaign, I did not do anything bad. I did no stealing. Oh, no. Already? Oh, man. This thing was the bane of my existence in vanilla. Yeah, it's an egg. You correctly guessed that. Earlier today, an asteroid crashed into Earth. The release of kinetic energy was roughly equivalent to limited nuclear exchange between India and Iran during World War III. The impact event has been dubbed Hammerfall, the largest in Earth's recorded history. Asteroid hit deep inside a quarantine zone where the Pandora virus has aggressively mutated the surrounding ecology. Traces of seismic activity have been detected in faraway coastal regions, coinciding with rumours of Pandoran attacks. The Anu Havens join in a ritual welcome to the prophesized trials and tribulations, their chant reverberating across the airwaves. Cmdr are trapped in a complex web of its inner politics, fail to agree on anything. And New Jericho said, we need to purge that shit. Purge it! New Jericho says purge! And the Hammerfall crater, it's fairly close to us too. That brings other complexities to the campaign. So this Haven here has a special mission, but this mission is a trap. It says that they're just thieves, and then you get assaulted by dudes with the most accurate laser pistols I've ever seen in my life. And it was a very difficult mission, so we'll come back to that. Instead, we're going to steal their aircraft. So this will be our first combat mission, and it'll be against humans trying to steal their aircraft. Now, it's a real shame that the first combat mission of our game is going to be against humans. I didn't want to have to do this, but we need to steal this aircraft. This aircraft is amazing, very fast, long range, they make perfect interceptors. And I'm not going to be able to get out of Australia unless I have a longer range aircraft. And my only options for that are the factions aircraft. I could steal a blimp, which can travel very long distance, but very slow. So unfortunately, what is this? While their leader is alive, they get free actions for the first shot. Oh man, that's gonna... I don't want to have to kill anybody. I just want to steal their aircraft. I don't really want to keep perpetrating the conflict between humanity's factions. But this guy, he's a warden. Starting volley. That seems very dangerous. Especially if he has snipers. They would be able to shoot at us twice. Because a sniper shot is 3 actions. So the first shot would be 1, and the second shot would be 3, and that would blow you away. Cmdr armor and weapons also have exceedingly good accuracy. So you need to stay concealed, like we are right now. They can't quite see us, but his perception range is pretty high, and they're going to see us the minute they move. In this game, concealment is much better than cover, because if you can be seen, you can be shot. And if you can be shot, you can die. If you can't be seen, you can't be shot. If you've played a lot of XCOM, the new Firaxis XCOM, it might be a little bit strange to run out into open area because you feel like you're under no cover. But sometimes you can be out in the open and fully concealed by the enemy, from the enemy. But there are also times where they might shoot you through a tiny little gap in a building that you didn't anticipate. So for all we know, there are snipers on the roof somewhere and they can already see us.
My turn.
The game says that we are concealed, but this will change. Put the heavy troopers up high. Elevation does give a lot of cover too, because it minimizes the cross-section of the person you're shooting at. Alright, they've spotted us. But that first action is wasted, because they spent most of the action points looking for us. Now we have to be careful of the back line here, because snipers that can see us can shoot us from anywhere on the map. So it's a little bit more realistic in that you don't want to stick your head out if you know there's a sniper around. Move Sophia Brown up. She's one of the story characters that features in the prologue.
I'm prepared.
So she's got different lines, different voice lines. I think Jacob, Takashi, everyone in this squad is basically story characters for the opening prologue. In my vanilla campaign, Takashi Sato was an absolute monster of a man. He gave no shits and killed everything.
Like the wind.
Alright, we've sighted a assault trooper on the roof here. Very poor chance to hit him with only his noggin sticking out. When we start taking shots, if you haven't played Phoenix Point, I'll explain how the targeting works. I think it's really quite intuitive and simple, easy to master. And it's not so reliant on chance to hit. I've got no chance to hit that guy. It's like a tiny little bit of his arm sticking around a corner. That weapon could blow the wall away though, but we choose not to do that. He's taking Overwatch shots at us as we try to jump. We have pretty good cover there. Glancing blows on the heavy armor, not doing much. That's a lot of Overwatch. Jeez, the old warhound knows how to start a fight. Excuse me. Omar joining his friend. He should have gone first because he has heavier armor.
Repositioning.
But what we're trying to do here is just getting straight to the aircraft to activate the objective and hopefully just vamoose. I don't want to kill anyone. I'm not going to be aggressive unless I have to be. If it looks like we're if we're going to lose a trooper or someone gets pinned down, we're going to have to go loud. Alright, they've seen us, they're charging. They're choosing the Overwatch. That concerns me.
Target acquired.
Are they also holding fire because we don't know if we're hostiles? No, we've already took rounds to the dome when we jumped. Now the turn times can be slow, so if you do play at Phoenix Point, I recommend you go into the settings and turn up the turn speed so that all the animations happen quicker. It does drastically increase the game flow. Now we have to be super careful of this warden dude. Remembering that he gets free shots.
We're anarchists, pacifists.
Can we nade his wall away? I think if we can kill this guy, we will lower the threat of the rest of the team. That skill he's giving his team members is pretty powerful. If I had that, it would be amazing. Shredded his armor, hit all of his body parts, except his left arm. Let's jump into the objective. This could be highly dangerous, but the Warhound is a brash young lady. Oh, we've got a sniper spotted. And she is very exposed. There is no immediate cover here. And there's a sniper right there. Jesus shit. At this range, he's going to shoot my head off. Oh man, I put myself in a position here. We could throw a grenade and hopefully take their limb off. There is a second sniper here in the building. But our prospects for a grenade aren't very good. Oh, we can get this sniper and just hope it blows his hand off. If it blows his hand off, he can't use his sniper rifle. This is where the RNG matters. No! No hand injury for you. Oh, you can only just stand back and brace yourself. We've got no hope of getting help there. The jump troopers are very impetuous. They like to go a few screens ahead of the rest of the team.
Receiving.
Our sharpshooter, Irina Sokolova.
Opening fire.
Sophie drawing the Overwatch shot. The reply shot, very, very poor chance to hit. So we will Overwatch trap this guy instead. The problem is when you're in half cover and you use Overwatch, your character stands up. So you lose some of that protection. There's some little nuances you've got to get used to. So like, he can Overwatch us behind that cover because he will step out and shoot us, but we can't shoot him directly. So I have to try and take the wall out and get an angle on him. But I can Overwatch him when he steps out to shoot us, if that makes sense. There we go. If he were ducking behind half cover and we Overwatched him, he would fire. And we would not Overwatch him because he's not moving a square. It's a bit of nuance to get used to. So in most cases, you want to Overwatch from full cover.
Dialectics. I shoot, you die. Everybody wins.
Yeah, sure, buddy.
Ready to contribute.
And now the sniper. Oh,
Something feels really wrong.
she blasted the leg off of our warhound. Better than a headshot. But her mobility will be severely reduced. We'll have to put her heavy cannon to use. And they're attacking the aircraft. Okay, now what to do? We need to get rid of this leader ASAP. Sophia's taken a bit of a bruising. I think we will go with a frag grenade, just to keep her safe. Throw the frag and then maybe heal her. Perfect. We broke everything except his left arm.
I just need to catch my breath. I'm prepared.
Well, let's finish him off and get rid of this buff. Can we clip him here? Took out the wall. A little bit of splash damage. And a hit. So the way the targeting works is there's the outer ring, and that is where 100% of your shots will land. And then the inner ring is where 50% of your shots will land. So if you have a high burst weapon, you can pretty much guarantee that 3 to 4 shots will land in the inner circle. In that case, we got a 50% hit rate.
Comms online.
If you close the distance, the circle pretty much takes up the entire target. Or if the target is large, it increases accuracy because they're so big. You also have to keep that in mind with your vehicles as well. Your vehicles are very easy to shoot. So any accuracy malices that you're suffering, you can overcome by just closing the distance. And point blank shots are guaranteed almost. Unless you don't target properly.
Reposition.
Let's jump down here and take a shot on this sniper, see if we can knock their head off when they move. Behind cover, we're better off overwatching. And just hope they don't just stand up and shoot us, because that is a possibility. If they stand up and shoot us, we don't get an Overwatch shot, I believe. But heavies get the return fire ability, so we may still get a shot. Oh no! Is that Jacob? No, Takashi. Shot in the head by a sniper as he made a dash.
Better work.
Head wound damages your willpower. So your maximum will points, and will points are used for skills. If your willpower reaches 0 or under 0, you panic. And you lose control of the soldier for a turn. Sometimes more, if they've stacked up panic debuffs on you like virus. There are lots of different damage types. And lots of ways to deal with the Xeno.
Pessimism of the intellect,
I've been
optimism
flanked
of the will.
by a sniper, but he's panicking for some reason. Probably because we took his leader out. Oh, headshot there on an Omar. Omar shot in the head, and our Warhound is getting shot to death by this sniper. This is not going to plan.
Targeting.
We just want to steal your aircraft. Didn't want to have to shoot you.
This definitely wasn't in the plan.
Nice return fire there. We need to finish this guy. He's still got his pistol, and we deleted him.
I got the kill.
Omar's got blood in his eyes. We need to close the distance a bit.
Attempting to acquire target.
Most of these shots will land, I think.
Hostile still active.
High shock damage. They are dazed, so they can't use their sniper rifle next turn.
Preparing to fire.
Finish off the sniper in the mist. Oh, low chance shot, but high burst weapon. Let's get closer. Risky exposed position here. They won't bleed out this turn, so we need to kill them. Much better chance. No hits. Oh, man. So the inner circle was not all touching the guy, and that's just how it is sometimes. That was a speed shot, and I deserved that.
Hostile destroyed. Finger on the trigger.
In that case, the head filled the scope, so the head disappeared.
I'm ready.
Guess it's my turn.
He's dropped something there in the mist too. We might try and grab that. We need to take out this assault trooper nearby. Sophia also has a head wound.
Work.
If we can shoot out his arms. No dice there on the arm shot.
Ready to engage.
Get behind that high cover so the snipers can't shoot our marksman. Sophie's head is taking a battering. It's the only thing poking out behind that cover.
I shoot, you die. Everybody wins.
Sophie's in big trouble here. So is our Warhound. I always try to keep one soldier nearby. Teams of 2 at least.
Insignificant damage.
Kill confirmed.
Standing by.
See, this is a bad situation here for a Warhound. We need to use her medkit.
I'll be okay.
But we can't fix the leg, so we're stuck there. He will bleed out next turn. Squanchy. That's an interesting name. So we're not concerned about that sniper. We might try and get an angle on the other one. But we have very poor mobility at the moment. Let's set up an overwatch through the door.
Receiving loud and clear.
Anyone crosses that threshold, they will be deleted. We might try and get this loot here too. What do we got here? A laser sniper rifle. That's a big weapon. It's probably the best sniper rifle for a long time. If we get enough of those, we can reverse engineer them as well and make our own. We have to survive another 2 turns. The character here I'm most concerned about is this one. That sniper bleeds out.
I'm seriously injured and in need of assistance.
Marina just took a chest shot from a sniper. Oh no! We might lose Warhound already on her first mission. She was expensive too. We need to get her out of there. There's nowhere to go. We can't jump jet because we're underneath the aircraft. We need to get out from underneath the aircraft.
Attempting to reposition.
Is that enough? Oh, it is enough. We can save her.
Here goes nothing.
That was very lucky. She's out of medkits, and there was no one nearby to support her. Our next concern is Omar here. Omar needs to get into heavy cover. He's still got a head wound bleeding. We're going to need to rest after this. Terror from the Void makes it so that if you take a limb injury like this, you are out of action for some time.
Can I do this?
I was under the impression that we could just steal it straight away and not have to wait. I've never done a theft mission before, so that was a little bit stupid of me to advance those guys in so close. I was hoping to stealth it. But the Cmdr Warden
Channel open.
proved to be a difficult foe. That's a good addition. That is not something that's in vanilla. That's special captain guy giving a buff to his troops.
Double time.
We just need to keep everyone inside for the next turn. Hope they don't frag grenade us. Let's separate them a bit. Keep a wall between them in case they get fragged. I like these games because they're a little bit like chess. You've got to think about what your opponent's capable of and where they will move. Try and stay out of their reach. I was not expecting Arena to get shot by a sniper from the other side of the map. That chest wound is quite brutal. We need to keep her... She's in concealment now, so... That's interesting.
Have to move.
Calculating trajectories.
They're going to shoot the aircraft to death.
Here's a kinetic argument.
And that's it, we just had to wait the timer out. A bit bloody there on our first mission, but we got some much needed experience. Pythagoras 7. Laser sniper rifle and 1 magazine for it. And we've really pissed off the Haven leader and Cmdr as a faction. They are not going to want to trade with us now, which is going to leave us in a position where we are wholly reliant on scavenging for materials. My most precious skill in the early game is speed. You want your troops to be able to move around as fast as possible, and then I focus on their skill points and their skills themselves and the willpower. Willpower keeps them in the fight longer, lets them be more adaptable with their skill use. But we are very, very low on resources and supplies. We need to start building some stuff. And I'm going to keep the sniper rifle for reverse engineering so that we can build them ourselves. This takedown skill looks interesting. It adds a lot of shock damage, so she should be able to jump jet in and bash someone and stun them, which will be quite useful. The base, we've got our training facility coming soon. We've got to re-engineer this, but that's 3 days. We need another lab. Alright, so I've done some thinking, and I'm going to focus on vehicles in the early game. They are a great force multiplier. There is some argument that they aren't so useful, and that they limit the growth of your squads because vehicles don't earn experience. But in my experience, vehicles keep troops alive. If we can keep them alive, then they will grow organically. So we've come back to the Haven here, and we're going to raid them, I think. They already hate us, and we desperately need materials to start production of our war effort. We have none left after ordering the Scarab. And the Scarab will need some upgrades to be really efficient. I've never done a raid before. I feel bad about doing it, but we need supplies. The question is, do I do it now or wait? Well, the troops are in terrible shape, so I think we might have a day or two R&R to discuss our battle plans and see how we're going to get off this continent, this island continent that kept the people of Australia isolated from a lot of the world's dangers. But now, it's a bit of a prison. I mean, it was always a prison. But yeah, we don't have the range to get out of here, and there are no points of interest that I can reach. The Helios could reach another base, but I would have to activate it and start ferrying troops over there one by one. The Helios can only carry one troop without a passenger module, and that is a Terror from the Void change. I don't know why that's made that change, but I like it. It means that I will have to specialize aircraft between transporting troops and dedicated interceptors. And I'm thinking I might use Helios as interceptors and emergency shuttles, like getting that one super soldier somewhere where he needs to go. We've recovered the base and analyzed the databanks that have been left functional.
Randolph Symes was the last leader of the Phoenix Project. His great-grandfather had been there when it was founded, and he was there to witness its end. When we took back Phoenix Point, we found his notes. In his final days, as the world collapsed around him, he'd been working frantically to understand the Pandora virus. Somewhere in the complicated history of the project, in decades of missions and investigations, there had to be an answer. His notes were damaged, too many of the files corrupted. But perhaps, if we could retrace his steps, we could figure out where his journey had taken him and what the answers he had discovered.
Indeed, Randolph Symes' notes indicate the existence of a private retreat owned by his family, used as a place of meditation and research. It may contain information that could help us understand what Symes was trying to achieve in his final days. Randolph Symes is a quest line that will lead to some very interesting lore, in my opinion. Unless it's in Australia, we're not going to get there anytime soon, though. So, I guess we could send some operatives. Where is the Symes retreat? Japan. Yeah, we still can't get there. There is a base very close to us in Southeast Asia. I just don't have the resources to activate it, and there's no point just moving over there, not having any points of interest. We need the first assault recon module to make the Helios able to carry more than its one passenger. I will have to build one of those, either way. I might build another Manticore, I'm not sure. The Manticore can't yet get off Australia, so we would need to build it and put it in another base. So there are a lot of things to consider going forward. There could be a lot happening on the mainland and in Europe and continental America. Yeah, we just can't get there yet. We are our own island. Everyone's healed up. We have a little bit of delirium from that fight against Cmdr in the mist. So that will lower their will points if they're not fully rested. Just running time forward as our radar coverage expands, and hopefully we just picked up another point of interest. Let's go and explore it. I would like something useful out of this. Still waiting on the Manticore.
The more the disciples of Anu invest into this mutation tech, the further away they will move from what New Jericho considers humanity. This is not a threat, but a statement.
Not a threat.
There is still time
Simply
to look
saying
to
we
reason,
will go to
not
war.
superstition for solutions, to seek answers in human will, instead of submission to the alien. But that time is running out.
Phoenix, if you are receiving this message, then respond on the secure channel I have provided. It is essential that the information I am about to give you is kept confidential. My name is not important now, but I am known among the pure as Subject 24, the 24th volunteer in a program set up by Tobias West that gave us hope. We had a solution. A solution? A secret program that would fix the world. And in the final moment, he backed down. Nothing prepared me for his treachery, his selfish cowardice. His attempts to erase us have failed. It was known as Project Purity. One man's dream of replacing every inch of human flesh with neurally controlled prosthetics. When I volunteered for the project, I had nothing left. My entire family had succumbed to the Pandora virus. I watched my wife through bulletproof glass as she slowly turned into an abomination. Abominations! They're everywhere, waiting, watching. I had nothing left to lose. Along with many other brave men and women, I put myself forwards. A lot was sacrificed. He pushed us to the limit. Dozens of us died or were left crippled, and we came close to success. The Juggernaut Warrior was the final design. More than a soldier, more than a human, with titanium skin impervious to infection, perfectly pure. Pure as a smile in winter, as a human should be. There were problems. Total encapsulation created some. Mental instability, hallucinations, and dreams. Not everyone could take it, but there was no shortage of volunteers to take the program forwards. And then, Tobias West, the coward, the traitor, the small-minded charlatan, pulled the plug. Terrified of what he couldn't understand, the great leader ordered everyone involved with the project killed. Killed! Maybe he thought if he buried us, he'd bury the truth of his shame along with us. His shame! But we fought back. I and several others managed to escape. For years we remained silent, hiding, running, waiting for the right moment. The right moment. And that moment has come. Facing a losing battle against the Pandora virus, the weak-minded West has reactivated the old Project Purity facilities, and that makes him vulnerable. Phoenix, I am offering you an exchange. I know the location of the facility and how to get in. You have the firepower. The power! Hailstorms of fire and acid. Raid the lab and share the tech with us. All this time in hiding has left us damaged and in need of urgent repairs. If you succeed, we will both gain. Humanity will gain. We are the pure. The pure! We are the future. Help us, Phoenix. Help our species.
When I played this in vanilla, that guy won me over, and I thought, hey, I'll help you. I would like to, subsume the flesh and become bionic. But he's full of it. Absolutely full of it. So I did his mission, and it was one of the bloodiest missions I did through the whole campaign, because I wasn't ready for that level of combat against New Jericho's super powerful heavy machine guns and high armor units with jump jets. So I'm going to tell on him. I'm going to say, look, Tobias, you've got a problem. A metal skeleton in your closet. I appreciate the discretion in your manner. Rest assured, the necessary precautions will be taken.
This New Jericho neural tech we've been hearing about. It sounds like a pretty cool technology, really, but has anyone thought about how easily it could be abused by, I don't know, an autocratic leader with delusions of grandeur?
This guy sounds like Gru.
It is, isn't it? Sometimes I miss the days when such questions were just science fiction. But I guess sooner or later the future arrives, and then you have to deal with it.
Just trying to increase my reputation with Cmdr a little bit. We did annoy them, and they're the only faction we officially know. Oh, we've got ourselves a trooper. A brand new trooper. With the skills Squatter. We'll have to see what that's about. Passing over the destroyed town, operatives detected a weak light shining from top of a building. There was a survivor, exhausted but otherwise hale. The individual in question escaped the destruction of a nearby independent haven some time ago. He was waiting for the creatures to move on. Joining the Phoenix Project, who have we got? Eunice Govea. What are you capable of? That assault trooper looks very capable. He's got a pretty high strength, average speed, but he's got like a perk that lets him carry 25% more and be faster. As well as later on, he has something called Condo Raider that lets him jump up buildings. So he's going to go in the Helios, and he's going to be perhaps one of our key scavengers. We'll have to see. But I can tell you that jump ability will be super useful for keeping him alive or doing scavenging missions really quickly. Alright, the Pandorans have evolved. We now have the Arthurian Brute, which has a shield and a pincer. So formerly they didn't have a shield. And now we have the Triton Wretch. He uses misty arms and a pistol. Alright, we don't have much to do here at Phoenix Point, except plan for the future and hope that something happens that lets us hop, skip, and jump across. Really, I'm just going to wait until the Scarab finishes construction. We've got new recruits available, but it's going to cost food. I have a food production facility being built, so we will run food neutral as soon as that's done. We can't have any more troops until we build a larger living space, and we will need to support them with food as well. The Scarab is almost finished. We are wasting valuable days, but once this Scarab is done, which it is now complete. Alright, we're setting up our first scavenging mission. I'm going to send 2 heavy troopers because they are very useful with their jetpacks. I have an interesting upgrade here that lets us exit the vehicle with no action point use. So that is actually really good for scavenging missions. So we'll whack that on. And we're off on our first scavenging mission. This video is getting pretty long. We're going to send the Helios out to explore this base and see if we can't find a point of interest. And we can keep exploring. We really need to speed up discovery of the world and income. We've wasted a precious week, basically, earning nothing, doing nothing. It was a bit of a change of pace from my last campaign. In the last campaign, the first week, all sorts of things were going down. So many missions to do. But we were stationed in the USA, so we had a lot of points of interest to explore, and we could move down into South America and up to Alaska. At least the Helios can make it over there. Scavenging side. If you want to see it, make sure to tune in next time. Commander Tyrael, Phoenix Point,